In this interactive guide, you'll learn how to manage users within tenants in Microsoft 365 Lighthouse. To complete this guide, follow Microsoft 365 Lighthouse makes it easy to manage users across all your customer tenant accounts. You can perform common actions right from the home page. For example, you can add a new user. Select the tenant to add the user to. Next, provide some basic user information. Next, assign the product licenses the user will need. Optionally, you can assign roles or provide profile info. Click Next, and then finish adding the user. To access user management capabilities in Lighthouse, expand Users. Next, select Account Management. From the Search Users tab, you can quickly search across tenants for specific users in order to perform basic user management tasks. Select the user. Lighthouse displays full details for the user's account, devices, licenses and apps, mail, and OneDrive. You can easily perform common actions in Lighthouse, such as resetting a password or blocking sign-in if you suspect the account was compromised. In this case, reset the password. Next, click User Metrics. At a glance, you can see how many users, licensed users, guest users, global administrators, inactive users, and unblocked shared mailboxes you have across your customer tenants. Next, select Inactive Users. This page enables you to identify and secure accounts across your managed tenants that have had no sign-in activity for over 6 months. In the tenant list, you can see the number of inactive accounts and unused licenses per tenant. Expand the first tenant in the list. Here, you can see a list of inactive user accounts within this tenant and perform cleanup actions on one or more accounts. For example, you can block user sign-in to reduce security risks. Once blocked from sign-in, these accounts will be removed from all other reports, enabling you to focus on active users. You can also offboard user accounts from here. Select the tenants and users you want to offboard. Next, select which actions to take for the offboarded accounts. For the purposes of this guide, cancel this action and navigate to the Risky Users page. This page shows user accounts across all tenants that have been flagged for risky behavior. To see why a user was flagged, select View Risk Detections. Here, you can view specific timestamps, IP addresses, locations, detection types, and risk states. You can also view this information in Microsoft Entra to learn more about this user's risky activity. Select the detection time to see more. The pane shows the details behind this risk detection, which was flagged as leaked credentials. Close Microsoft Entra and return to Lighthouse. You can use the filters to quickly identify other users at risk. From here, you can quickly perform. Next, select Reset Password. You can have the system auto-generate a password, create your own, or require users to change their password when they next sign in. You can also prevent users from signing in while you investigate whether accounts have been compromised. Specify the users you want to block, and then select Block Sign-In. When users are blocked from signing in, they'll automatically be signed out of all Microsoft services. Close the pane and continue to the Multi-Factor Authentication page. This page shows the status of multi-factor authentication enablement across all your tenants. This list contains details for each tenant, including the number of users excluded from multi-factor authentication, MFA enforcement method, and recommended action. For more detailed MFA information, select a tenant from the list. The first tab shows the MFA enforcement method for this tenant. Select Conditional Access Policies. This tab shows conditional access policies that require MFA for this tenant. You can also view your policies in Microsoft Intune. Here you can review and configure conditional access policies for all your customer tenants. Close the Browser tab to return to Lighthouse. Next, select Users Not Registered for MFA. This is a list of users on this tenant who are not yet registered for MFA. From here, you can send users a registration link so they can better secure their accounts. Lighthouse opens your default email client and pre-populates the email message with instructions to register for MFA. Send the message. You can also exclude user accounts, such as break glass accounts and service accounts, from the detailed MFA report of each tenant. Next, select Excluded Users. Any excluded users will appear on this tab. Close the pane. Next, select Self-Service Password Reset. This page shows how many tenants are enabled for self-service password reset and how many enabled users are registered to use SSPR. Select the AdventureWorks Cycles tenant. These are the users on this tenant who can use self-service password reset, but who have not yet registered for it. As with multi-factor authentication, you can initiate an email right from here reminding users to register. You can also export the user list as a CSV file. To see how, select Export. Now you can work with the list outside of Lighthouse. This interactive guide is now complete. Click the link to get started with Microsoft 365 Lighthouse today.